10 races at Sha Tin on Sunday. We're back at Happy Valley for a 9-race programme. It's our final meeting at Happy Valley as well before Christmas. After this, we'll be back on Boxing Day. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined in the studio here by our former analyst Paul Lally and race caller Tom Wood as well. And Tom, it's a planetary theme on Wednesday night. No feature race, but some good action, particularly later on in the programme. Yeah,
the last race on the programme, Andrew, is a ripper Class 2 over 1,200 metres. A few interesting runners there. Ugly Warrior, blinkers on, first time trying Happy Valley. Big Party trying Happy Valley for the first time. And Stronger, who didn't win on debut, but he showed plenty. He's up from Class 3 to Class 2. And he's at Happy Valley, but he has trialled there in the past.
He has. We'll hear from John Moore. That's the final race on the programme. A bit to get through before then. Jackpot-wise, Paul, what are we looking at?
We've got one. We've got one in the triple trio of 1.5 million. So we're expecting to get up to 4 million for a single winning unit. And as I say, there's a few potential stars on the show there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Works been well with the planetary stuff as well. The Mercury, the Venus, the Mars, Saturn, a few others thrown in as well. All right, before we get into to Happy Valley, let's look back on the weekend action with our racing review. It was Look for Jewellery Day at Sha Tin. A good day's action as well. A couple of winners on the dirt that were probably worth talking about. But this was the Cup, the feature race. Perfect match, well back just before the jump went off favourite. Yeah,
he was second favourite right up until about 5 minutes out. Beauty Rush was the favourite. He's the one just fading out there now. But look, the money came late for him, and it was an avalanche of money. It really spoke. And the horse ran away and won really nicely. It was a good win. A few anxious moments with Joyful Trinity coming down the very last bit, but I think Perfect Match had it in control.
I think the writing was on the wall with the last race because he was caught wide. He had to do a lot of work. He had a pretty much perfect run there. Did Perfect Match, and he was too good for them. Out of the other horses in the race, Beauty Rush, he may have been a shade disappointing. And Decrypt, he was very good first up, but I'd certainly want to see him do it again, but he did pretty well first up, I thought.
He did. The Irish 2000 Dignitary's third, the grey horse, third on debut. Up to the 1,400 metres here for Perfect Match is the perfect trip for him. There was talk of the 4-year-old series as well, but there's sort of a bit of cold water poured on that. They thought 14 might be his best trip as opposed to the mile.
Seems to be that way at the moment. I think he's only been beaten once, hasn't he, over the 1,400, and that's when he ran second. So he looks like a true out-and-out 1,400 metre specialist.
All right, but Decrypt will be heading in that direction, as we understand it, for the 4-year-old series. Perfect Match got 6 Reliable Team, another potential maybe 4-year-old series horse.
Yeah, he'd be looking for another race to win, to guarantee him a spot going forward. He might not be a horse maybe for the first leg, but he'd certainly be a horse, I think, that would see out a 2,000 metre derby trip being by a reliable man. Elite Patch, he was very good on the dirt once again, but there are a few nervous moments with him. And Douglas White produced a nice horse called Willpower, who won first up on the dirt.
Yeah, Matthew Poon was very good on quadruple double, I thought, from the front.
He did. He just rated the horse perfectly, and he's riding really well at the moment. It was a really good ride on Rickfield during the week, and now that one.
Yeah, and Wicker right down at the bottom of that pile with a win. He's still on 30, though, so he can make a couple more chances in Class 5 company as well. All right, that was the look back on the weekend action. The big winners. We'll see if we can find some more now with our horses to follow. Now, as we just saw Decrypt then, he would have been an obvious horse to follow, but we just saw that one, Paul. So what else did you find?
This one at the back here, Car Fortune, you can see him right at the very, very back, highlighted there. He did miss the start. He was awkward away, and I just really like the way he hit the line here. There was a bit of money for him late too. He was a big price leading into the race. Prior to this, he had sort of caught the eye as well. So both starts have both been pretty good. And I think he's just about ready to win. As long as he's sort of the pennies drop with him and he can jump away with them, and the best part of this was this last 15 metres. You can see he really hit the line really strongly. So a good run from him.
Yeah, it was your long shot winning the race there as well, Tom, wasn't it?
Yeah, he went round at a long price too in the end at Valiant Dream. Thanks for reminding me, Andrew. I came up with Computer Patch in one of the later races on the program. Now, he ran the fastest 400 of any horse on the day, 21.62. From the 400 to the winning post, brought some good form from Australia, wound up strongly, and he's actually amongst the entries for Saturday at Sha Tin in a Class 3 1,200 metre race, and he has been trump card by his trainer. So I thought it was a really good run, came from last, powered over the top of them. That was quadruple double winning, but he certainly caught the eye, did Computer Patch.
All right, we'll keep an eye on him. Lightly raced horse for me as well in Mighty Giant. Now, this is his second start. He debuted over the 1,200 metres, over 100 to 1. They put the blinkers on here, got up to 1,400. He had a really tough trip as well, covered some ground, but just kept on running as well. Sprint Forward is the horse that wins the race, just getting out from underneath him right now. But I thought there was a lot to like about this. He is a big horse as well. He's a big individual, so looks like he's got a pretty decent constitution as well, and they might go up in trip once more, and with a softer run, he might go pretty close to winning, I think. That is Mighty Giant. All right, there you go. Those are the horses to follow out of the weekend programme. As far as the suspensions and fines are concerned, well, Matthew Chadwick got a couple of days on Cheerful Leader and 25,000. Alex Lowe, Fantastic Fabio. And then Berta Rispoli, 15,000 for breach of Rule 100. And he dropped his stick in the closing stages and was judged not to have ridden the horse out late on. But there we go. That was the suspensions and fines out of Sunday's programme. Right, we move on to Happy Valley then on Wednesday night for the 9-race card. My Power is out of race number 6, replaced by Play to Win. Derek Lung will be in the saddle, and Fairy Twins has been replaced by Flying Sword and Neil Cannon. That's race number 8, which will be the second last. 9 races, don't forget, at Happy Valley for meeting number 28 of the season, and we're on the C+3 course as well. We start off with a Class 5 over the 1650, headed by Calling the Shots. Likes to roll forward. He's got barrier 12. He did that last time out, though, as well. Was beaten by Doctor's Delight, finishing in 4th place. Solar Billion tries Class 5 for the first time. Sky Gem, 3rd last time out behind Golden Kid. Wonderful Tiger and Kwai Chung Brothers, both behind Doctor's Delight last time out, finishing 6th and 3rd respectively. Keep Winning was a winner over this trip on the all-weather last season. Money Marshall rolled forward from barrier 10, and Keep Going gets barrier 2 here, but he was last in that Doctor's Delight race last time out. Calling the Shots, Money Marshall and Keep Going are the horses that have been up at Jungfrau in the last 30 days. Class 5, 1650, a lot of the usual offenders here that have been racing each other week in, week out. Money Marshall, he'll press forward. He pressed forward as he normally did last time out over 1,800 metres. Joe Moreira's got a couple of options, whether he sits outside Money Marshall or potentially rolls on with it and goes to the lead from gate number 12. Gurdon Helmet, his pace profile is very mixed, so it could be interesting to see where he ends up in the run.
He's a Class 4 winner in Class 3 Association fans, but he's a bit of a monkey, as we know. He likes to play up a bit. He swishes his tail quite a bit, this horse. He didn't do it this morning, so he was sort of on his best behaviour as he did his track work. Solar Billion's going nicely at the moment. Alex Lowe doing the work on him, and likely to go forward. He should get a good run from barrier number 5. He looks pretty fit coming into this. This will be his 4th run this season. And the other one we're going to look at here is Golden Cannon. He's only a little chap, Golden Cannon, another one that likes to play up a bit in the mornings. You can see the holdings under, and he goes nice and fluently here as well. He normally does, though, to be fair.
All right, that's Golden Cannon. A few of these have been bumping into each other a few times this season already, including, how many have we got here? 5 of them. Kwai Chung Brothers, Calling the Shots, Wonderful Tiger, Happy Hour, and Keep Going. Well beaten.
Yeah, Kwai Chung Brothers was actually a better effort from him this time round with Zach Purton on board, but Alexi Bedell jumps on board, so it was a better effort behind Doctor's Delight. Calling the Shots on this occasion had led up, but just he was quite one-paced over the final stages there with Asheen Murphy on board and was run down late in the piece. So they'd probably be the 2 that I'd want to take out of that race.
Well, Happy Hour, if you see Happy Hour there, he just didn't get a go at all on the inside, and it's interesting that Zach Purton's jumped aboard Happy Hour as well, so I think he'll get his chance. Chaparral
Star was just on his inside, actually ran really well on the weekend at Sharton. This is Sky Gem and Money Marshall, last time out behind Golden Kid.
Yeah, now Sky Gem, he's back to 1650. I think he's a little bit better over the longer trips. Barrier 9 for him is by Niagara. Money Marshall, I'm going to slot him in on a really minor line because he's a horse that's going to be on the pace in the C+3 course. You can see he just faded out here late. I think 1650 looks better for him.
I've got Sky Gem, and he's been beaten a favourite in the past behind Association fans, but yeah, it's a tough race to open the program. Plenty of the usual offenders, as I mentioned, going around.
All right, Happy Hour will be a popular winner of the first, though. Paul, his favourite at this stage?
Yeah, I've got to put him on top as well, Happy Hour, because I thought he didn't get any go there on the inside, and prior to that he did run pretty well when he was 3rd behind Ken Becky Molly. It's not a strong race. Kwai Chung Brothers, as Tom said, went better at his last start. Association fans, a Class 4 winner down into Class 5, and he's drawn 1, and Money Marshall for 4th. 4-8-2-10.
Look, I'm going to go with Golden Cannon again. Neil Callan is riding here because Vincent Ho is suspended this week, but he was slow away, maybe a little bit keen last time out, but he wasn't too far away behind Can Becky Molly, who was well rated in front to win on that occasion. So, look, I'm going to go with him again, Calling the Shots there. Happy Hour had no luck last start, and Sky Gem there as well. So 5, 1, 4 and 6 in the first.
All right, I think Happy Hour is probably the one to beat, but I'll go Rogue Early, Solar Billion. Class dropper. There's one piece of form. Yeah, there's one piece of form from last season. It's worth looking at again. All right, that's race number 1.